Hi, I'm Jennifer Gilbert, and this is my Race, Class, Access, Equity, and Gender assignment. I'm going to school at Fort Hays State University. This is for AEP855. I'm in pursuit of my Master's of Science in Education with ESOL endorsement. Quickly, how to find a scholarly article. I like to go to the Fort Hays State University library website. I search their databases, and I almost always use education full text as my selection. Especially in an online class such as this, just a few short weeks, I want my article right away, all of it. I don't want to have to then physically go to the library and search for it or get a book through interlibrary loan. I want something that is full text, meaning the whole article is readily available. And when I'm searching, I enter keywords. For this assignment, I played around with low SES, writing, equality, and I think that's it. I just kind of mix the order as I search the keywords to find articles that were applicable to me in my area. Article 1, the title, Understanding the Writing Habits of Tomorrow's Students, Technology and College Readiness. It's written by Stephanie R. Rels and William G. Tierney. It's from the Journal of Higher Education. This is a journal that just came out this summer, 2013. Preview. 36% of entering college students are in a remedial program. And of those 36%, only 17% will go on to complete their degree. There's an overrepresentation of low-income and minority students in the remedial courses. Disadvantaged college students are less likely to use electronic devices on campus or to email professors when they have questions. Research question. How do students' digital practices support college-level argumentation? 91 first-generation students enrolled in pre-college writing remediation program. Background of those students, they were technological disadvantaged and they had a poor academic preparation. Point 1, framework. It is suggested that writing in online environments develops the same argumentative skills used to compose college papers. A few definitions are important to understand this research. First, plurality means different writing for different settings. B, hybridity. Online and offline discourses share argumentative competencies. We'll talk more about that later. And C, identity. How people use language reflects who they are. Point 2, method. All 91 students were accepted to four-year universities. They enrolled in a summer remediation program that assists low-income, first-generation college students. So this was a program directly after they graduated high school before they began their first year in college. Of the 91 students, we had 70% Latino, 16% African American, 14% Asian Islander. The course was Monday through Friday for 4 weeks, so students received 80 hours of writing instruction. Data collection. Students were required to create a social network profile with the identity of a college writer. The research paper mentioned Facebook and Twitter as popular forms of social media, but then they did not specify which platform was used for the research, nor did they really outline the assignment per se. All that I could gather was that students made a profile and then made posts, and then it was analyzed by the researchers. We'll get into that more. Data analysis. Use profiles as evidence of digital skills. Analyze what each student intended to convey by looking at posts, pictures, audio, and video. Developed identity of profile. And there was a rubric used to rate digital writing skills. So for example, several students not only had their profile picture as a picture of themselves, but they would have friends or a boyfriend or somebody else in the picture. So the researchers used that to convey that they were trying to show themselves as having relationships or as friendly. More of the method, data presentation. Digital conventions exhibit the same higher order thinking skills expected in college comp. Posting images, audio, and video files are forms of writing that support college-level argumentation. Visualization. Okay, let's compare in composition a single sentence to a single image on the social media. Appropriation, when you're writing, you might use quotation marks, whereas online, you should use a link to your source. Performance, in a paper, you can have voice, whereas online, you may have multiple voices. So you can see some connections there between composition and how you present yourself in the media. 3, profiles. Researchers viewed and analyzed the profiles of the 91 students. They were categorized based on what we just talked about: visualization, appropriation, and performance. Okay, what they found when they analyzed these. The majority of students displayed such low new media literacies that usability concerns are raised. Concern lies in low appropriation skills, given that appropriation has a direct link to searching for articles or other sources. Findings suggest minimal levels of internet experience and ability to follow links. Okay, so this seems pretty important to me because if these students do not know how to perform a simple internet search, they cannot be successful. They probably would not then be successful in going to the library and searching for scholarly articles. For example, if their profile picture was just a straight-on shot of their face with a smile, okay, then they did not utilize software to edit their picture, or maybe they didn't even know that a computer could do such a thing, which would be even worse. It cannot be concluded that developing digital literacy makes students better compositionists or vice versa. So in other words, we don't want to just assume that if we teach students how to use Facebook or Twitter, that then they're automatically going to be better at writing compositions, but we do see a link here. The writers suggest further research into the topic, but believe college readiness programs should include composition and digital discourse. Even if remedial writers do manage to graduate, which remember the statistics here are very low, unless they can manage themselves online and offline, they will not be prepared for the technological demands of the workforce. And my personal reflection is that as a leader, I must realize the disadvantage my students have. I'll be teaching a population very similar to that in the study. I'm going to have a lot of low SES students. I'm going to have a mixture of racial backgrounds and ethnicities, but mostly minorities. We are an ESL school. It's going to be my job to help them fight their environment by using technology when appropriate. I can also call attention, now that I've read this article, I can call attention to the links of online and offline writing. So for example, if I have a classroom blog and a student wants to post a picture, I can highlight how it's important for them to also put the link to where they found that, and then maybe connect that to doing a research project or something similar. And I can even show my ESL students how technology can help propel them academically. Now on to Article 2. A little bit different direction here. The title of this article, Availability of Physical Activity, Related Facilities in Neighborhood Demographic and Socioeconomic Characteristics, a National Study. Authors Lisa M. Powell, PhD, Frank J. Chalapuka, PhD, and Deborah Harper, BA. It's from the American Journal of Public Health, September 2006. Preview of this article. It examined associations between neighborhood demographics and the availability of commercial physical activity-related outlets across the U.S. 33.4% of high school students did not engage in enough physical activity. Patterns of inactivity are not equivalent according to race, ethnicity, or SES. Who's most at risk here? People with low income, living in poverty, or minority groups, or the disabled. Participation in organized sports differed substantially according to race and parental income and education. Okay, well you can think just because there's no facility, why not exercise on your own? There's a positive correlation between the availability of physical centers and exercise behaviors. I know me personally, if I did not live close to an exercise center, I probably would not pop a DVD in and exercise at home. What are the barriers for this group? Well, some of them lack transportation, lack of opportunities, it's expensive, and then there's the neighborhood safety concern as well. Point 1, methods. Analysis were conducted to assess the availability of physical fitness facilities, membership sports and recreation clubs, dance facilities, and public golf courses. So the data was linked by zip code to U.S. Census Bureau population and SES data. Okay, that way we can see where are these facilities and how do they relate to the demographics of the people living in the area. 2, results. Commercial physical activity-related facilities were less likely to be present in low-income neighborhoods and neighborhoods with higher numbers of African American, Hispanic, and other minorities. 3, conclusion. Lack of available facilities may show why lower levels of activity are displayed among low SES populations and minority groups. 4, discussion. Increasing the availability of these facilities among the underserved populations may help to increase activity levels. This is particularly important for low SES populations with transportation problems. In my personal reflection, personally, where I live here in Topeka, I'd never noticed or maybe never thought about the lack of exercise facilities in our low-income and primarily minority neighborhoods. But if you think about that from maybe a fitness owner's perspective, a person probably would not choose to put a high-class gym in a poverty-stricken area just for business purposes. Let's see. In Topeka, however, I do feel like we have several excellent facilities. We have YMCA and YWCA. I don't feel like those are necessarily in middle to upper class parts of town. We have a Boys and Girls Club with a bus service. And then I think I'm most proud of our community centers. We have community centers all across town, and I kind of think they're in the middle of where those kids live and go to school. I know a lot of kids are able to walk there. They provide sports opportunities and other things that are either low cost or free of charge. For example, basketball is $1 to get in and play basketball. And to further ensure equality for activity among all students, I think that school leaders can have a couple things. They can have family activity nights to promote health for the whole family. 5K walk and run, or teachers can get creative and come up with other events to get people active and get people moving. I think the school should reach out and not just have these activities for students, but try to reach out and involve the whole community. Thank you.